Hi, everyone. Isn't it a great day? I'm so glad you're here. We've got lots of fun planned for today, so let's get started. If you don't know or don't remember, my name is Miss Mariah, and all month long we've been talking about responsibility. Responsibility is showing that you can be trusted with what is expected of you. We've looked at some rules for life that help us live with responsibility and show others they can trust us. Just like there are rules to all our favorite board games, these rules will help us as we choose to live God's way every day. Now it's time for worship. Let's give all we've got today as we sing and bring praise to God. Everything He has made is good. This world He created is oh so beautiful. Let's thank Him and sing about His goodness together. Here we go.
You never turn away, you never leave my side. And every time I call your name out just to find that you're already right here with me, never been alone. I can trust you with my heart, 'cause this I know. You are always faithful, you love me from the start. No matter what I'm facing, I will trust you with my heart. You are more than able to lead me through the dark. Your love is never failing, I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, I will trust you with my heart. There are days when I feel I need a friend, and then I hear your voice reminding me again that you're already right here with me, never been alone. I can trust you with my heart, 'cause this I know. You are always faithful, you love me from the start. No matter what I'm facing, I will trust you with my heart. You are more than able to lead me through the dark. Your love is never failing, I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, I will trust you with my heart. No matter what may come, no matter what I go through, God, you are never gonna fail me, I will trust you with my heart. No matter what may come, no matter what I go through, God, you are never gonna fail me, I will trust you with my heart. You are always faithful, you love me from the start. No matter what I'm facing, I will trust you with my heart. You are more than able to lead me through the dark. Your love is never failing, I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, I will trust you with my heart. Whoa, I will trust you with my heart.
Hello, everyone. It's so good to be with you again. My name is Pastor Scott, and I'm excited that we have this opportunity to be together today. Now, one of the things I hated most when I was a kid, when I was probably your age, is I absolutely hated cleaning my room. When my room got really messy, my mom would come to me at the beginning of the week. She said, "Hey, Scott, you have to clean your room on Saturday this weekend." And so all week long, I would be dreading cleaning my room. I'd be like, "I don't want to do it." And I would hate having to think about it. And then Saturday would come, and I'd spend the entire day, like from when I woke up in the morning till it was dark outside, cleaning my room. Now, it should not have taken me that long to clean my room, but instead I just sort of sat there, I pushed things around, I played with whatever I could find. I didn't really work very hard to clean my room. And so I ended up wasting the entire day. Something that should have maybe taken me an hour to do, I wasted the entire day cleaning my room. And have you ever done something like that? Have you ever wasted something that you've been given an opportunity or maybe a gift? And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. We're looking at a story that Jesus tells, where there's two people who they're given this great gift and they do something with it. They make the most of it. But in the story, we're also going to see somebody who was given a gift and they wasted it. They didn't do anything with it. And so you might know that when Jesus wants to teach a lesson, sometimes he uses a story, and those stories are called parables. And so a parable is simply a story with a lesson, a story with a point. So Jesus, he's telling this story about a man, this man who went on a journey. And before he went on this trip, he left his servants with bags of money. To one servant, he gave five bags of gold. To another servant, he gave 2 bags of gold. And to yet another servant, he gave 1 bag of gold. He wanted them to be responsible. He wanted them to do something with the bags of gold that he'd given them. And so the man leaves on a trip, and let's see what happens after the man leaves. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. So also the one with 2 bags of gold gained 2 more. But the man who had received 1 bag of gold went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. And so the servant who had been given 5 bags of gold, he gets 5 more bags of gold. The servant who had been given 2 bags of gold, he gets 2 more bags of gold. But the servant who'd only been given 1 bag of gold, he goes and he buries it. He doesn't do anything with it. He's not responsible with what he's been given. And so after a while, the boss comes back and he brings his servants together and he's asking them what they did. And so the servant who'd been given 5 bags of gold says, well, I made 5 more bags of gold. And the boss replies, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. The second servant showed that he had doubled. He'd taken his 2 bags of gold and gotten 2 more. And the boss says the same thing. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. But the third servant, who'd been given 1 bag of gold and then didn't do anything with it, wasn't responsible, just buried what he'd been given. He comes to the boss and he just has a bunch of excuses. He has all these reasons why he didn't do anything. He has all these reasons why he wasn't responsible with what he'd been given. Does that sound familiar? Do you sometimes make excuses? If there was something you were supposed to do, or maybe you were given an opportunity and you wasted it, do you make excuses sometimes? Do you say something like, oh, I was too tired, or oh, I was bored, or it's too hard, or my leg hurts. It's boring. I don't want to. They don't have to do it. It's not fair. Have you done that? I think we all have. When we were supposed to be responsible with something and we weren't. When we were supposed to do something with what we'd been given and we didn't. Sometimes we make those same excuses. We make excuses for why we waste what we've been given. And so the boss sends the servant with the 1 bag of gold. He sends him outside. And he takes his bag of gold and he gives it to the servant who'd been given 5 bags of gold. And like I said, Jesus tells these parables because it's a story, but it's a story with a lesson. It's a lesson for us. And in this story, God is the boss and we're the servants. And God doesn't give us bags of gold like Scrooge McDuck, but he does give us gifts. He gives us talents and he gives us abilities. And since God has given us those gifts, since God has given us those talents, since God has given us those abilities, since God has given us those friendships, all the gifts that God has given us, God wants us to be responsible with those. He wants us to use them to make a difference in the world, and He wants us to use us to make a difference in the lives of our friends and our family. He wants us to use those gifts to help people, to make the world just a little bit better. So what are some of the gifts that God has given you? Maybe you've got a talent like drawing or singing. Maybe you could draw a picture for your mom or your dad and they could have it at their work so they think about you. And they know and show them that you love them. Maybe you can sing. Maybe you can call your grandma and sing a song to her over the phone. Maybe you're really, really good at using computers, and one of your friends in your class is having a hard time logging in. Maybe you can help that friend. Think about all the time that you have. Like all the time that we have in any given day. It's a gift from God. And sometimes we waste that time, don't we? Like I did when I just sat there not cleaning my room and I wasted an entire day. What could I have done with that day that God had given me? I could have spent time with my friends. I could have been nice to them. I could have hung out with my sister. There were so many things I could have done with that gift of time, yet I wasted it just sitting in my room. So God has given us so much, and he wants us to be responsible with it. He wants us to use the gifts that he's given us to make the world a better place, to show people Jesus, to show people love. And in the story, the servants, right, they're given different amounts of gold. Like one servant gets 5, one servant gets 2, one servant gets 1. But it's not really about the different gifts that matter. What God cares about is how we use them, how we use our gifts. And so we all have different gifts. And so we shouldn't just say like, oh, I wish I had that person's gift, or that gift looks really good, or why do I have this gift? It's not about the gift that we've been given. It's about how we use that gift. That's what God cares about. So remember this. Make the most of what you've been given. God has given us different gifts, and we don't need to worry about other people's gifts. Instead, you just need to make the most of what you've been given. So how can you do that this week? How can you make the most of what you've been given? How can you use your gifts and make the most of it, not waste it, and do something to show somebody love, to be nice, to reach out, to serve someone? How can you use the gift that you've been given this week? How can you make the most of what you've been given? I hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you again next week. Bye.
I don't know about you, but I want to be like one of the first 2 workers in Jesus' story. They definitely made the wise choice. They took what their boss gave them and they doubled it. The boss sure was happy when he got back and saw what they did with what he had given them. You see, God is like the boss in the story, and we're like those entrusted with bags of gold. God has given us gifts, talents, and relationships with other people. He wants us to be responsible with what he's given us. He wants us to make the most of what we've been given. That's a great rule for life. Can you say it with me? Make the most of what you've been given. Remember, we have a great example of what this looks like when we think about Jesus. Jesus made the most of his time with people. He showed love to everyone and helped them understand what's most important to God. So, how can you make the most of what you've been given? Maybe you're good at art. If so, use those talents to show love. Maybe you have a pantry full of food and your school is doing a food drive. Ask a grown-up if you can donate some of what you have. Whatever you have, make the most of it. Use it to show love. Thanks for watching, friends. That's all we have for you today. Bye.